we'll introduce you and then do a little bit of our business and jump right into the interview.
Great.
Yeah, they're ready. Are we ready? Here we go.
That's never stopped us.
Look at Gronk. Oh, dangerous games we play. I don't know how to dance with my legs. I only dance with my arms. Well, hello to this very special episode of Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the only podcast from the birthplace of geocaching in the great Pacific Northwest. Each week, we're going to talk about cachers and caches from here and all around the globe. So while you're smuggling Timbits across international borders, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
That's right. That means it's time to bring in our border crossing baboon. Some say he's won a staring contest with a barn owl, and others say he's no longer on speaking terms with Elton John. All we know is he's called a land monkey.
Hello, my friends.
Hello.
Oh, nice.
How are you?
Wow.
Very good to see
Very
you.
good to reach out and touch someone here. All one place.
Actually, before we get going, since we're actually all together, we're going to do a live show selfie here. There we go. All right, we'll post that a little bit later. All right, hey, so glad to be here in person with my co-host. So glad to be here in person. And making loud popping noises.
I'm Snap. He's Crackle. He's Pop.
The kids call me. But I also want to say that we have a very special guest as well online. It's Joni from Geocaching Houma and Geocoin Fest 2019. Welcome to the show, Joni.
Glad to be here.
So just in case anybody's watching the video feed, every time Joni speaks, it's going to say, Brandon, don't get confused. That is not my name.
Sorry.
This is so totally Joni.
At the very Joni moment, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show. We're really excited to speak to you and learn more about the Geocaching Houma Geo Tour, Geocoin Fest 2019, all the cool stuff. But before we get into that, the quick reminder we always have that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And a thanks to Land Sharks, our corporate technology level sponsor. Ooh, there's the shark. Hey, you know what? There's still a special shipping offer for Canadian US listeners from landsharks.ca. Free shipping on orders of 50 Canadian or greater to a max of 25 Canadian shipping costs. Promo code SHIP50. All right. So, you know what? If you want to know more about supporting the show, where should they click?
Let's see over here.
It's over there.
Over there.
It moves.
Maybe it's there.
But look for that Patreon link on the cachingw.com website.
That's right. I think it should always be to the Northwest.
That would make sense.
Of where we.
I think everything should be to the Northwest, then we can know where to find
You're
it.
always northwest of something.
Actually, everything should be southeast because we're in the Northwest.
Oh.
Didn't think that one through. Okay.
You know what? Another thing we don't often think through
What's that?
are good geocaching logs.
Yes.
You know, sometimes.
I rarely think my logs through.
Yeah. You know, templates have been my downfall of geocaching logs as of late. It's just so easy to say, yeah, use that, go next.
And I've heard that templates could be the downfall of good geocaching logs because you just click go next.
Go next, yeah.
Hey, it's time to find another.
But sometimes some people write very good logs. So we call those glows, or the geocaching log of the week. Whether you wrote it or whether you read it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. Send an email to feedback@cachingnw.com. You can call into 253-693-TFTC. Use the voicemail tool on the website, or send us an email with a audio file you recorded from your phone, because you can do that.
You don't seem convinced about this.
I don't.
You can make a template for that.
And show us how you glow.
He's feeling the love
Excuse
tonight.
me. Wits End isn't going to be able to read the glow tonight because I'm going to choke him.
Okay.
Okay, so this week's glow was submitted by Miss Jen, and it is from GC 655 Victor 5. And the glow reads, "We arrived after dark, a little uncertain of exactly what to expect. Shijak read the description carefully and checked in with the hint. When we pulled into the parking lot, Shijak saw it and knew immediately what needed to be done. Shijak had not enjoyed the benefit of the description or hint prior to arrival, so he is delighted when Shijak laughed and provided insight and the correct instructions. Favorite point for creating a cache we want to copy. Shijak has been looking for a cache to build with Dad of Shijak, an 89-year-old craftsman, and this could be it. We signed the log and obtained the code. Now we're off to our hotel so we can do more of this terrific series starting bright and early tomorrow morning." And the log concludes, "Thank you to Houma Travel for a fun cache."
Who was that again?
Why? It's Houma Travel.
Very cool. So did I imagine you recognize which cache that is?
No, I don't. I should have done my homework. No, I don't. I don't. We have, look, not to toot my own horn or anything, but like we've got quite a few cool caches. So
Awesome.
I'm just going to say it's probably something on tour 2, right? One of the birdhouses, maybe?
Yes, it is on tour
Gibson's
2.
Road.
Yep.
Yeah, probably one of our birdhouses.
Nice.
Shouldn't we all be doing our homework? In this upcoming-
Oh, God.
Yeah.
How did I miss that one?
I don't know.
It's just going to get worse, John.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not getting any better.
All right. Well, you know what? Before we torture Joni anymore at the moment, we do have a little bit of news. Now, we have a news story we're going to share, but we made a kind of a discovery.
Interesting discovery.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and share that?
So I have been holding off on updating to Cachely 5.0 because I heard there were some issues right at the beginning. So lo and behold, it updated on its own for me. And just last weekend, as we were out looking for a cache, I looked at the logs to help me find, just get a clue or two. And I looked and I go, wait, we can upvote logs here now. So I don't know if that's just a thing on Cachely or if that's something in the US and they've just slipped it out and not told anyone.
It doesn't work on my geocaching app on my Android phone, and I can't load Cachely on my Android phone. So far, you're the only one.
Yes.
But we are really
Thank you very
interested,
much.
listeners. If you are looking at US geocaches, let us know if you can upload them or not. We're kind of curious. We haven't heard about this. As Chris said, it works on Cachely on his phone. Maybe it's a special release just for Cachely users can upload now, but we're curious. So let us know. Feedback at cachingandw.com.
And I'm wondering if it's something just in Cachely and he's put it in there for everyone. And it's
right.
I didn't try to upvote one.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say if it works or not. Yeah.
Maybe I should upvote one right now.
All right. Well, while you're doing
What could go wrong doing this live on the air?
Let's see. In the chat, GSM times 2 says it's just a feature in Cachely. Oh, it's a Cachely only feature.
Okay.
So does it work, folks?
Yeah, that was
Star Cacher and GSM times 2. You got to let us know if it actually works.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if it's not on the website, then I'm not sure that it would actually work. Maybe he's implementing it, but it doesn't actually.
Yeah, Ryling says it's only Canadian.
Well, we're pretty special. All right. Okay, so we've got some news here. That's probably a good idea. There was a really cool story from the official geocaching.com blog. It was a little story about and from mountain bike, John Stanley, and he was sharing his top 10 geocaches that he'd ever found. So I thought it was pretty cool. And so I took a read through it, and 6 out of the 10 were from the Northwest. So I thought that's pretty cool. Now, of course, he is from the Northwest.
Yes, yes.
But a lot of his caches were international. He had one in Spain and a couple other places that he had traveled and found some great caches. But so if you want to know let's say that you were doing your usual visit that everybody does at HQ, and you're just hanging out with Signal and grabbing a beer and there you go. And Mountain Bike comes by and sits down, has a beer with you, and you say, "Hey, Mountain Bike, what caches should I go find in the Northwest?" Well, here's what he's going to tell you. He's going to tell you his number one is Above the Clouds in Washington. That's GCB67. It's a climb up onto Mount St. Helens, which sounds like a great place to go caching. Want to grab one of the other ones?
The Moon National Monument, where I've been, 9 Monkeys had it. That's just an amazing place to visit itself. Probably more than one, but one of them made Mountain Bike's top favorite list. That's DCH0QX, a multi-virtual. You get to see several outstanding locations of Craters of the Moon National Monument. It's in Idaho. It's fantastic. You should go check it out if you've not been there.
Another great place, which I have been, not in the Northwest, but I was driving back through the Northwest, so it counts, is Devil's Tower National Monument in Wyoming. Now, this one is going to be a virtual cache, I believe, because I don't think you can have a physical cache there. I'll have to go look at it. It's GC22DD. Very repetitive.
Yes, it is. The next one on his list is Half Moon Cache in Washington. Back to Washington here. DC12. I can actually say Washington here because I am currently in Washington.
Welcome to Washington.
Yeah, thank you. There's a big sign, so this feels much more personal.
Good.
Sign and stuff. Thank you. Half Moon Cache, that's GC1221, also very repetitive. It's a long but memorable multi-cache with a fantastic final location that must be seen to be fully appreciated.
It'll bring us to Hidden Basin Geocaching, also in Washington, DC8E22, a stunning hike into the North Cascades. North Cascades are part of the Northwest, and a stunningly beautiful part they are. After finding the cache, they continue to the summit of Vesper Peak for an extraordinary 360-degree view. That's really warm.
Yeah. It could be fun to hike to that.
Yeah, I know.
They're not really selling it.
Okay.
Fahrenheit or Celsius? Did you say?
I don't want to be at either one.
At that point, does it matter?
It's true.
Kelvin.
And that might be terrible.
Number 10 is a place you might want to go with someone special. Love Grotto. In Alberta, Canada. That's GC849. So walk up a gorgeous narrow ravine in the Canadian Rockies to find this cache of misty waterfall, sheer cliffs, and ancient petroglyphs.
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool. No word on mosquitoes. We know about waterfalls.
Anywhere there's waterfalls in Canada, there's going to be loads of mosquitoes. I know it.
That's been our experience.
You're pretty much safe to go with that.
Yeah. You know what, though? Those are Mountain Bike's favorites. What are some of yours? Send an email into feedback@cachingnw.com. Let us know. We'll put those in some upcoming episodes. We want to know your favorite Northwest caches.
That sounds like fun. Just don't let Brian type his favorite into the chat because we may have to just end the podcast.
And Brian, you know what we're talking about.
Don't go there.
Don't do it.
Don't go there. All right. Well, that's been some great news. There are some fantastic caches all over the world. A lot of them great here in the Northwest, and a lot of them in Houma, where our guest is from. Tony, welcome. Caching in the Northwest.
Thanks. Nice to be here. We're going from the Northwest to the Southeast, right?
And everywhere in between.
That's right.
Now, Joni, we've asked you to join us tonight and talk about the Houma Geo Tour and, more importantly, Geocoin Fest 2019. But before we go into that, would you share with our listeners a little bit about yourself and what it is you do for the Houma Geo Tour and the whole region? How did you get started with geocaching?
Absolutely. So for me, I am the I'm the public relations manager for the Houma Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. We're known affectionately as Houma Travel. So we've put together the Houma Travel Geo Tour, GT53, for those of you who have not gotten to do that yet. So I really got started in caching by actually doing it as my job, which is pretty cool. A couple years before I started, my now executive director, Sandra, which many of you cachers know, she and I travel together quite often. She put the first tour together. Well, we have one tour in 2 phases. So she put the first phase together on her own and really kicked off geocaching. So through working with her, we laugh, like when she was in her old position, she was the mother of geocaching in Houma. I am now the new mama of the baby. So it's just making sure that baby grows and does some great stuff. So yeah, really, I got caching with work, which is, when I tell people that my job is like geocaching is a big part of my job, they all, it's a little cool to be able to explore, find boxes and sign logs and meet people from all over the world. So yeah, I love it. But for the Home and Travel Geo Tour now, I'm the one who mostly goes to the events and spreads the news about our Geo tours and our events, Coin Fest, things like that for the Houma area.
Fantastic. And I just noticed Electric Water Boys in the chat, and he said the first tour was awesome, and he's looking forward to the second. So there you go.
Our revamp. We just launched our revamp on March the 1st, and we're already got quite a few people that have come and done it. We're getting great feedback, so I'm excited.
Nice. And I have to admit, I'm a little jealous that you get to geocache for work. I have to work and then geocache for fun. So that's
there are worse ways to work. I can tell you that much.
He's living the life. That's right. So my next question was also asked by keepers of the cache flow in the live chat. And that is, could you maybe help some of us out here in the Northwest understand where Houma is, and let's say how one would travel there perhaps from the Northwest?
Yeah. So like I said, we're quite a ways from you guys. We're southeast. So we're actually 45 minutes south of New Orleans. Usually when I say that, I get a lot of people that give me the face like, you can go south of New Orleans. We're practically mermaids. Our parish is about 75% water. So we are, like I said, we're about 45 minutes drive from the New Orleans International Airport, which for you guys is the easiest way to get to us. It's about a 6.5 hour plane ride. I made the trek up to Seattle for Coin Fest last year, and it was a great flight. So it's very, very doable. Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah. So if you can get to the New Orleans airport, you can get to me.
Fantastic. So there you go. So that's a great tip.
I love it. Yeah.
Vincent, do you want to take
So
that?
everybody, well, I know everybody here and everybody in ArtCat loves a Geo tour. Who doesn't love a Geo tour? Really, right? So let's just dig into that first and foremost. Could you share how many geocaches are in the Houma Geo Tour and what kinds of locations are they in?
So our tour, like I was saying a little bit earlier, we actually have one official Geo tour, that's GT53. However, what we've done in that whole tour, there are 52 collective caches, but we've separated those 52 caches into 2 phases. So upon completing the 2 phases, you can actually get 2 completely separate Geo coins for doing one Geo tour, essentially. Yeah, it's great. It gives us some creativity. It lets us keep those caches fresh and new, because like we had with Geo Tour phase 1, we had a lot of people complete that. So we kept phase number 2 open so our cachers can still come over and cache. And we just started revamping, making things newer and fresher so more people can come, and that our visitors who loved doing it before can come back to the area. So for those 2 tours, we have 21 that you have to finish for tour 1. And then the rest are on phase 2. Great. And the coins are beautiful.
You could do one a week and do it in a year.
Yeah, there you go. You can fly all the way down from the Northwest one time a week, and I would love that.
Well, okay, maybe I don't have quite that much time. How long does it take to complete the Geo tour down there?
Most of our cachers that are coming to us are either very familiar with caching in general, or at least have experienced Geo tours a little bit. So for the most part, most people complete it in about 2 days. If you're doing both faces, it's going to take about 2 to 3 days because our parish is so expansive. It covers over 2,200 square miles. So it's, I know there are geo tours with lots of like 80, 90 caches in them, and it takes a few days. But for us, it's the distance and the places that you're going to that are a little bit different for people to experience. So usually about 2 to 3 days, you can do it.
You said your parish is 75% water. Do we need a boat to get around?
Depends what time of year. Not to get around per se. We have a lot of areas though that I actually had to disable one on the new tour for a little bit because we do get times where a little bit water gets on the road, but nothing scary. You don't need a boat to get to any of the caches yet until I get there because my mind is going there. Trust me.
There's now going to be 52 caches or 53 caches, and one of them is going to require a boat. Thank you, Winston.
Correct. I'm going to have you guys like fishing in the middle of the bay or something.
There you go. Now, so it's going to take you a day or two to do this. And is there anything we're going to have to bring along? You said there's a lot of water, so we don't necessarily need a boat, but hip waders, magnets, a ladder, hovercraft.
I mean, a hovercraft is always the most practical way to go, I think. No, pretty much the tools of the trade. I always tell people, bring shoes you don't mind getting muddy in because we're in the swamps of Louisiana. We get a little muddy sometimes. We go always with me personally, always have my staple, the Louisiana Cajun Reeboks, as we call them, or shrimp boots. I like to wear those often because those are nice and easy to wash off. Make sure you have some mosquito spray if you come in the warmer months, because again, we're in the swamp. And on this new phase, you do need a Phillips head screwdriver for one of them. So other than that, all you need is yourself and a few little things.
Phillips head screwdriver, or maybe a fork you're willing to steal from the hotel.
Right.
Yeah. Or a hammer.
Oh yeah, bigger the better.
Maybe not the hammer.
Oh, now this sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Are there any gadget caches or any special equipment we need to bring along besides a Phillips head screwdriver?
No. Now in phase 2, the birdhouses are puzzle caches. You do have to open up locks, which, I prefer if you don't use any tools to open up the locks. Use good old-fashioned brain power in your hands. But no, most of the caches or types of caches that most cachers are familiar with. And then just bring your brain power for phase 2, because unlocking I get a lot of calls from people trying to get into the birdhouses, and they're like, it's not opening. I'm like, what's the code? And they're like, oh, maybe that's wrong. So brain power, thumb power, you'll be good.
That's why I have Wits End, for the brain power.
You plug the thumb power?
Yeah.
Good job.
You just wait till phase 3.
Oh. That would be the bring a towel phase.
Yes.
All right. Tony, for those who like to travel with their snuggle muggle or a significant other who maybe isn't super keen on geocaching, what non-caching activities or sites to see will they be interested in the Houma area?
That's a great question. So honestly, even if you are not into caching, I highly recommend, if you are traveling with your companion who is a cacher, go ride with them on the tour, because the great thing about both phases of these tours, they're bringing you to some of your attractions, the must-see places. Some areas are even just beautiful little scenic areas that are great to take pictures, that you can see shrimp boats passing, that you can I've had people bump into gators and walk down the wildlife parks and things like that. Yeah, don't worry about it. They don't do nothing to you. So
and that's the end of the story. You're just leaving it right there.
So honestly, we've tried to really take into account who is coming down here. And most of you guys are not familiar with our neck of the woods. So if you are not a cacher, you will still love going on this tour with your caching companion because it's just the sights, the people you meet. In fact, I'm getting a lot of feedback, especially lately, that people are enjoying meeting the locals along the way, because our locals are finally getting to, now that we've been doing this for a couple years and they see it and we talk about it a lot, the locals are actually starting to learn what geocaching is. So they get super excited and they want to talk to the cachers. They're like, hey, I know where it's at. You want me to help you? They get really, really pumped. So, you know, it's just experiences like that you don't want to pass up. The food that's along the way, you will eat well. You will meet a lot of great people and just see some very unique and beautiful things. And aside from that, if you go to our website, houmatravel.com, you can find all the things there is to eat, do, see, and stay when you're planning your trip to the area, if you want to know things other than caching to do.
I'm sold. I want to come down there now. So let's say we could be down there. We've come and visited your beautiful 75% water parish, filled our bellies with some good old Cajun food. When we've successfully completed the Geo Tour, we just kind of get a pat in the back, high five, and say thanks for coming, or is there more prizes? Hey, there you go.
You're in South Louisiana.
Gator Field. Come on.
You're in South Louisiana. You know we bring that Southern hospitality. So those 2 coins, I wish I had them on me. The 2 coins that you get for completing the Geo Tour are magnificent. Our coin for phase 2. It comes in either a gold or a silver finish. The front has the Houma logo on it. The back has the birdhouses back there, and it comes with a trackable proxy as well with it. Same size. It's a very hefty coin, that one. The new coin for phase 1's revamp, we actually switched to the diamond shaped Geo Tour coin that people are switching to. On the front of that one now, it's this really cool, colorful picture of a man in a canoe, or pirogue as we call it. But I know if I say pirogue, a lot of people might not know what I'm talking about. I think over yonder, you guys call that a canoe. Yeah. So it's a diamond shaped coin, and then on the back is the traditional Geo Tour logo. Now for Coin Fest, that's a whole different situation. We've got some cool stuff coming.
So everybody loves shiny trackable items. I mean, that's, you know, one of the reasons why we kind of do this. But I'm sure there's going to be plenty to discover and purchase while in Houma. Speaking of Geocoin Fest 2019, can you tell us where and when in Houma that's going to be?
Yes, we are having Geocoin Fest. It's going to be, Coin Fest itself is going to be September 28th, which is a Saturday. However, we're going to start having events popping up Wednesday, possibly Tuesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all into Sunday. We're going to have events going on throughout the week. So you'll want to come early. The buzz that I'm hearing, a lot of people are probably going to come earlier in the week to do Geo Tour 1 and 2 and then join us in our festivities. Y'all won't want to miss it. It's the festivities itself on Coin Fest Day are going to be at the Marriott, the Courtyard Marriott downtown. Lots of parking, beautiful property. We're going to be having an early bird pool party, which is not just going to be your basic like hang out by the pool, and it's going to be elevated. It's going to be done Houma style and South Louisiana style. So we're pretty excited about that. And then I didn't even realize this. We had a little question. We're like, somebody asked, they're like, oh, you can still swim in late September? We're going to be nice and warm. So the weather's going to be great for the pool. We're going to have a Mardi Gras experience where we're going to be going into the Crew of Hercules' den. And that's in Houma as well, in Houma proper. We're going to be going into the den. We're going to have a band playing Mardi Gras music and Cajun Louisiana music. We're going to have outside, they're going to be cooking jambalaya and good Cajun food. You're going to be able to walk and look at and tour essentially some of the big floats and have some photo ops with some of the props and things like that. We're just going to have a good old-fashioned Mardi Gras time. Then, of course, we're going to have Geocoin Poker. We're going to have Coin Fest itself. And then on Sunday, we're going to have a See You Later Alligator party at the Gator Farm in Gibson. So we're really excited.
Wow, I'm tired just hearing that.
I know. Look, I told this to all my cachers. you are coming to a coin fest in South Louisiana. You're not going to leave hungry. You're not going to leave bored. And you're not going to leave home empty-handed. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Awesome.
All you got to do is swim faster than the gators.
I was going to say, the last little bit you did, Joni, sold it way more than, hey, come geocaching and maybe bump into a gator. That part didn't sound for me at all. But the last part really sold it for me.
They're harmless. They're cute, right?
So, Joni, if folks are interested in attending Geocoin Fest 2019, where should they register their attendance? Where should they go online to find out about this?
Right. So of course, the main page is up on geocaching.com right now. However, if you go to geocoinfest2019.com, you can get your registration, sponsorship opportunities. You can learn about the hotels, the attractions. Everything is on geocoinfest2019.com.
Are there different registration levels, or is just one price admission for everybody?
No, there's different there's different registration levels.
You do that
Yeah.
It's 11:30 my time, so I'm proud that I'm still like that. My verbiage is coming out. The different registration levels, they're going to vary from a free level. So they have like a basic, all the way up to a $90 VIP package, which is going to have some cool coins, some cool swag, t-shirts. And then we have like add-ons for, VIP partners and for children, anything like that. So there's something for everybody's budget, price point, and what you're here for. We tried to take into consideration that not everybody is into the coin. So we wanted to make sure those people were taken care of. So yeah, we have lots of that. And I will tell you this, I am so excited with how everything's turning out with these coins and the t-shirts and everything. I've got Chris Mackey designing that stuff, so it's fantastic. And we are playing around with this caching in the swamp at day versus night. So that's the first hint I'll give you guys, because we haven't unveiled anything yet. So the coin, the shirts, the events are all going to reflect this caching in the day in the swamp and bayou country, and caching at night in the swamp and bayou country, and some of the different things there are to experience with that change of
that sounds great, and clearly you're very excited about all this, which is awesome. Sounds really fun. Now, what doesn't necessarily sound fun is staying in the swamp at night. So maybe if folks are coming down, you can give some idea of where they should consider staying, and the food that you've been describing sounds fantastic. Where should they be looking to eat while they're in town?
So as far as lodging goes, even if you're not coming for Coin Fest and you're coming like at any time of year to do the tours, a lot of like I said, our community has really started to embrace caching as a whole, and cachers. So a lot of our hotel properties offer geocaching rates. They're great rates. I can't stress that enough. And same thing with Coin Fest. We're going to have some partners that they're listed on the website that are partnering with us for some special geocaching rates to make sure you guys get in there and with a good budget. As far as eating, I can tell you this: you can eat at a new Cajun or local restaurant every meal, every day for a week, and you still won't have scratched the surface. Between our seafood houses, places like Cajun Critters and the Shack and Big Al's, to your like traditional Cajun staples like Hebert's Cafe and Bayou Delight and the Jolly Inn, Po' Boy Shacks. I mean, it's everywhere. Food is a part of who we are in the South, especially in Cajun culture. So like I said, if you leave hungry, you just picky, because we've got so much food. It's crazy.
Fantastic. Well, and I love the food down there. I've been down to New Orleans a couple of times for work years ago, and that was my first introduction. I went out searching for authentic Cajun food and found some and really enjoyed it. In fact, so much so that I talked Mrs. Monkey into learning how to cook some. And, she knows it's one of my favorites. Every once in a while I'll go, hey, could you Did you make this tonight?
Nothing says love like sitting at the stove and cooking a roux for hours.
There you go. You pronounce that city almost with 2 words.
New Orleans?
There you go.
Let's go to New Orleans.
There you go.
I like a good jambalaya too.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go have some of that. So if people want to learn more about Houma, the city, the Geotour, the Coin Fest, you mentioned one website already. Can you run through some websites where they should go online to learn all that they need to know?
Yeah, sure. If you're looking to learn more about Houma itself and the Geotours, you can go to houmatravel.com or geohouma.com. GeoHouma is our geocaching website. Houma Travel about our destination. GeocoinFest 2019.com is going to give you all the info on Geocoin Fest, and there's some links back to Houma Travel. And then you could also check us out on Facebook at both Geocoin Fest 2019 and Houma Travel and GeoHouma. We're everywhere.
For those people listening to the audio, yes. Houma is Houma.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm laughing. A lot of people say Houma because of Houston, but it's spelled Houma, correct.
And Houma, just like you want to go Houma again. There you go. There's no place like Houma. There we go. That's a better one.
I like that.
Joni, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Such good information about this Geotour. I'm excited about it, and Geocoin Fest 2019. Boy, I think you're going to be busy this summer.
I cannot wait. We cannot wait to have all you guys. It's going to be a blast, no doubt.
And listeners, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest. There's going to be more coming. We always do an after show because, well, we love the after show. And Joni, we know it's late for you. If you have to leave, that's completely okay. We understand.
Well, thank you guys for having me on, and we'll hope to see you in September.
Sounds fun.
All right. So we want to take this opportunity, as we normally do, to thank our sponsors, Landsharks, corporate Denali level sponsor. That's right, Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online or go in person and visit their store in Victoria, British Columbia, where there are no gators. They're open 6 days a week except holidays, and they ship online orders daily. We, of course, also want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters, of course, as we mentioned, Landsharks, but also Bounce, Limax, Team Squirrel, JP's Geo Designs, and WorldCaching.com. Folks, if you want to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website. That's the link that is not shaped like a shark or a gator. All right. So, as we always like to do at this part of the show, I'm doing it.
I'll do it. I don't know. Can we all do it?
No. All right.
I'm just going to watch in person for
a deep breath as we thank everybody who participates in making this show happen. Broncos fan for life, Sprouter, Camp Clan, Tick Magnet, Kev MacD, Subway Mark, Doramore, Dune Buddy, Kid Vegas, 19, Geo Nav Pros, Wino Seattle, Acker Doc, Billy Robson, Genie, Antaeus, Keats 94, Trexer 0, MC3 Cats, Kennel Barb, M Nerve, Wet Coaster and Greenwords, Sege Hove, and NW Hokey, our newest patron. Thank you very much.
Oh, you made it through.
Didn't turn purple on enough.
Not yet.
Well done, sir.
Give me time.
All right, well, that brings us to the end of another episode. But before we depart, Tony, if you're still with us, is there any place that you would like people to reach you on social media? Maybe she's gone. I think she's gone. Okay, so check out the website that she listed, and you can reach her there.
That was Travel Houma.
Travel Houma.
Or GeoHouma.
Yeah.
Or Geocoin Fest 2019.
There you go. So there we go.
You get a gold star.
Someone was listening tonight. That's good.
All right. Well, how about you, Len Mucky? Where can they find you on social media, your webs?
On the interwebs, you can find us in Monkey on YouTube. That's right. That's where you can find us. This is the first time Mrs. Monkey has ever heard the jingle.
That's right.
And I publicly humiliated her, which has just made my whole road trip. That's awesome. All right, so yeah, on YouTube you can find us there, and of course follow us Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at LemonMonkeyGC. Which one, my friend? Where do folks find you?
Right here to your left.
Yeah.
Tonight, at least. I'm Whitson on Facebook, Geocaching, Twitter, a couple other places, but you can find me right here on Thursday nights. And you?
Well,
What's your name?
I don't know.
Okay.
It
We don't know
doesn't
where to
matter.
find him.
Don't worry about me. You can find me on Twitter at CachingNW, Facebook.com, CachingNW, and Instagram at Caching in the Northwest. You know what's better? Head on over to CachingNW.com/host, read our bios, find all those links we mentioned, and a few secret ones we don't know.
Yeah, don't look at those ones.
Yeah, shh. It'll make Mrs. Land Monkey turn red. Most of all, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. Call 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment. Ask us this question. Send us a plane ticket to Houma any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@CachingNW.com. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like this show, please click on the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and more. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jay Kennedy, and Jim Paulwitz. The show's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2019 by Chris Umfenauer. And stay tuned for
The After Show.
show.
Who is that? Me?
Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
There. I'm sorry, the monkey's done for the evening.
Don't you know you gotta cute the monkey? How about now? Okay.
Better?
Don't touch the mic.
I think I stepped on something.
I think we might have a bad cord.
Better than stepping in something.
Yes.
All right. So the after show. We're in the after show.
We're in the after show.
With a live studio audience. Should we show them on camera?
Yeah, flip the camera around. You guys okay with being on camera?
That's great.
Everybody sign the waivers. We're
Yeah,
good.
that's right. It's one of the first times.
I am not even on the right camera.
That's awesome.
No camera.
Oh,
So,
that was classic.
Can we just select it here?
to the audio. Just to
Maybe
explain
we
what
can
just
select
happened.
it here.
There's
Oh, you're on this one here.
webcam sitting on top of the laptop. We assume that that is what we've been looking at all day. And as it
There
turns
we
out,
go.
There they
are. So for those listening to the audio, as it turns out, no, that's not what we were listening to, in fact, or watching.
No.
In fact, it was the built-in webcam on the laptop. So
Yeah, I picked it up, turned in to go.
Yeah,
nothing happened. Classic Chris of the Northwest.
Yeah, thank you.
But you
Thank
know what?
so much.
We're using it now.
Oh. Hello.
What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know. Earthquakes?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
Please.
Our
You
motto,
don't alphabetize.
our motto for the evening, what could possibly go wrong? Because, pretty much everything has.
So,
All right.
those of you listening, you may notice something a little different in that we're all together.
We are.
We didn't mention that at the
Well, we're
start
not
of the
necessarily
show.
all together, but we're all in the same room.
There you go. Yes.
And our ultimate, no.
That's different.
No, we are not all together. We are far apart. But yeah, so Land Monkeys were able to come down on a Thursday evening. Who knew?
Surprise.
Surprise. And we thought, let's do a live podcast.
I think you got
For him, I drove like 2.5 miles.
Did you find a geocache? Not yet.
No.
Okay, so it's not a.
I missed out on the road trip and the geocache.
Oh dear. All right. Well, hey, in the FATAS, our hashtag FATAS, Beats94 asks, how many fake alligator caches are there in Louisiana?
One too many.
One, yeah, one is too many.
Never assume the alligator's fake.
Can you
Seems like-
imagine having one sitting by the shore where just, the eyes and the nostrils are up? You got to reach it.
Nope.
Nope. Just
I am in the live sheet.
Yeah.
No,
We're gonna-
all sorts of
all kinds of notes.
I have to say, so speaking of that idea, I mentioned when Tony was on the show earlier that I have been down to New Orleans a couple of times.
Yep.
And the last time I was there at a tech conference, they had somebody come in from an alligator farm, and they brought in small alligators about the size of your forearm. And the mouth was, they had electrical tape wrapped around the mouth, and you could take photos holding the alligator in your arm. And so, well, cool. I'll do that. And I'm holding
Still
it.
got all his fingers.
Yes,
I had to check.
they're all good. And as I'm holding it, I'm chatting with the guy, and I said, "So how long does the electrical tape hold for?" And he says, "About this long," which I should have known was going to be the answer.
I just throw that thing.
Yeah.
I'll spill that.
Speaking of throwing things, so there's my alligator story.
Okay.
There's one of my alligator stories.
You have more than one
I have
alligator
more
story?
alligator stories.
Okay. We're going to save those.
If we are.
Okay. GeoNavPros wants to know, what about FVCB2?
That is the Fraser Valley Cache Bash number 2, which Brian Lang, who's our chat master, our chat lackey.
Hello, Brian Lang.
He is the founder of Fraser Valley Cache Bash, and this year Fraser Valley Cache Bash 2, which you can find fraservalleycachebash.wordpress.com. Also, if you want to look up the kickoff event, it's GC84FMM, and that is going to be in Langley, BC, and we're going to have so much fun. It's basically, if you've heard us talk with the Land Sharks before about the HAG event, or any of these other types of geocaching events or setups that happen all over the Northwest, but where you encourage people to clear out the game board, go put out some quality caches, and then they all get released on the same day. And then everybody gets to go out and find them and then vote for their favorites, and then there's prizes for the best caches. We're doing that. This will be the second year we're doing it. And we've expanded the area that we're doing it, and Mr. GeoNavPros and myself are helping Brian Lang out this year. We're very excited about it, so check it out.
MC3 Cat says, Bri is the guy.
He is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, I have one question, and I know Brian Lang can answer this.
Okay.
But I'm hoping other people can too. So I have a cache that I disabled because it went missing. And I want to save that location for another cache that somebody else is putting out a series. I'm looking over there. How do I contact the
Reviewer?
the local reviewer and say, hey, I'm working on something?
So one thing that I've learned you can do is, and I don't know if every reviewer works the same way, but in our area, you can do this. If you submit a cache for that location, but you call it like placeholder or something like that, and then in the description and especially in the reviewer notes, you say, please do not publish. This is a coordinate check. Then they will publish it. You'll get usually 2 weeks to hold on to it. If you need longer, you just contact the reviewer and let them know. So I think that works in most areas, but I'd certainly welcome any feedback from reviewers who are watching the show and let us know. Yeah, coordinate check only. That's Keats 94.
Interesting. I've never heard it. So, but I've got the cache there. You know, I'm going to rename it and change it slightly. Should I? I don't want to disable it because I don't want to lose the spot. Right?
You want to archive it.
I like to archive everything.
Oh, okay.
Let's do that right now.
Archive party?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Video could go away.
We lost the video. Yeah.
I think Brian did that somehow.
Brian Lang, put the video back on. Oh, why did you do that? Camera turned off because reasons.
Yeah.
Right. Why you switch to the other camera? You know, the one we've been
Yeah,
using
we
for the rest of the show?
We have to shave.
Yeah, no, I think we're done for tonight.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Actually, the camera's on. The lights just went out. Nobody noticed.
Somebody turn the lights on quickly. It's dark in here.
Well, if you joined us live, I hope you enjoyed us live. And for those of you who are live joining us live, thank you very much.
Yay! Thank you. And folks, thanks for joining us. And until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.